The show has 8,000 paid attendance here. It does a 1.5 buy rate. Do you remember afterwards I mean, obviously you're happy with the match, but do you remember the office thinking that this was a success?
I don't remember it. I wasn't even aware of stuff back then.
You
I
gotta,
mean, the pay-per-view and that.
right.
1.5, so that how many viewers is that?
Let me take a look here.
1.2 million?
What are you thinking of this match as you're watching it back? I mean, is this all just second nature to you guys at this point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you've done so many?
Mhm. Yeah, when you wrestle that someone that great so many times, it's just fine.
130,000 buys is the
Uh-uh.
number.
How much?
130,000 folks bought it.
100 and what?
130,000.
130,000.
Yep.
Okay.
Wrestle
So,
War in Nashville did 120,000. Great American Bash, which people still talk about to this day, did 140,000.
uh-huh.
Halloween Havoc that year did 175.
Wow. So 130,000 buys, how much money do they make?
That's a great question. I think at the time, pay-per-views were like 14.95 for you guys. Let me see if I can find that. So what are you thinking as you're watching this one back for the first time in a long time? I think the last time you watched it's probably in my house way back when.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking to myself, I'm you're running these numbers by me. I'm just curious as to it's like I didn't know till Hogan told me maybe a year ago that the pay-per-view with he and I in Orlando, Bash at the Beach,
Yeah,
with
94.
Shaq and Sherry and all that,
Yeah.
is what gave them the money to launch Nitro.
It
Do you
all
know
makes
that?
sense when you look back, doesn't it?
What's that?
It all makes sense when you look
Oh,
back.
I never knew that. I would have asked for a raise.
Let's do a few
What
questions here. Josh wants to know, "Hey champ, when you went to Chicago, I've heard the stories about a very connected Chicago businessman that took care of all your plans, whether it was bars or restaurants or planes. Is that true? And if
Yes.
so, what are
Bruce
some other things you did with this person?"
Bruce MacArthur Wirtz.
The general,
The general. So much fun.
still a friend to this day.
Yeah, his family owns the Blackhawks and half of the world.
And it cost Mr. Scott his job. Talk to me about you tumbling over there at the same time. That's got to be a pretty scary spot to do.
Yeah, and we were one of the first ones to do that, but people didn't recognize it back then. It's still a spot where you have to really trust the guy to hang on to you.
So you're going to hook your elbow, but really he's got to hang on to you and you got to hang on
Exactly.
to him, right?
Exactly. You have to have a lot of trust. I used to do it with Barry all the time too.
The the best part of this match to me, or not the best part, something that really makes this match stand out then versus now is the commentary. Jim Ross is at his all-time peak here.
Oh yeah.
I encourage fans, listen, we're giving you sort of the peek behind the curtain. Go back and watch this with JR writing the lyrics. It's phenomenal.
Oh, I know. Well, Jim on any given day could be the best of all time.
Standing suplex. We saw one of those last week with Stinger. Here's
Yeah.
one for Ricky. Gavin says, as a fan, 89 was my favorite year of your career. Steamboat, Funk, Muda, a short but hot babyface